colleges submit rosters to the state, and that's how the tuition is paid for under the program. You can still, as a student, withdraw by the W date, but that means that you could have to pay back your school for the tuition and books that they purchased on your behalf to participate in that class this semester. Your school district has, or may have, so it's on your counseling form here at Newton Falls in terms of what that policy is here at your school. So I will say if you are classified as economically disadvantaged, qualifying for free and reduced lunch, then you're not charged for the program if you do happen to withdraw late. That is in state law. But your school determines what economically disadvantaged looks like here within their district. So it's whatever their school policy is that they have to follow for that. When you take classes under College Credit Plus, it's weighted the same as if you had any in AP or IB classes here in the building. Do you weight classes here? So this, you don't weight classes here, so this won't apply to you. And then the grade you earn in the college class is put on your high school transcript. So if you're looking to explore and want to take a class and see if it's okay, remember it's going to be much more rigorous in terms of the amount of work, the time frame that you have to complete the course. If you are heading towards that valedictorian status and have a 4.0 GPA and you take a college course and get a B in it, that B is going on your high school transcript. So you want to make sure that you're academically ready, but also motivated to complete the work that you need to do in order to maintain your grade point average. Deadlines, you can begin to file your letter of intent, again, like I said earlier, February 15th if you intend to do summer. Otherwise, you need to let your school know by April 1st, and they will review that process with you in terms of how you do that here. There's a form also online, but I believe your school district has a form that they use. Do you have any questions about just CCP in general? I am not that good. Maybe I am. Yes. Yes.
Are these like actual programs?
I'm sorry.
Are these actual programs?
Actual college classes? Yes. Are they college classes? Yes. These are, you'll receive, you start a college transcript with the classes that you're taking here. Oh, after school? You could be during the school day, after school, on the weekends. It depends, online, depends on when you can get into a class for what you want to take. I'm sorry. Recovering a little bit from something and my ears are not the best today.
I don't know if the right person wants this question, but last year, I didn't, we had to put them all signed up for this kind of jazz when it was recommended that we take a college credit course this year. We took it and not getting credit. Now, if we sign them up and we take college credit next year, is there any way to tag that with what we took this year?
No, there's no way to retroactively award credit for classes when he wasn't enrolled in the program. Unfortunately, sorry. Great questions. All right. I'm going to pass the mic over to my counterpart at Kent State. He's going to talk a little bit about their program, and then I'll come back and finish up with a little bit about YSU's. So this is Rob.
Hello, my name is Robert Bridgel. I am the CCP advisor at Kent State University at Trumbull at the regional campus out here in Champion Township in Warren, Ohio. All of our 8 campuses have a College Credit Plus program at Kent State. Our students usually enroll and pick which campus they want to go to. We do have some students who are taking classes at multiple campuses, but they're doing that online as a 100% online course. Then we have students on campus, students take classes online. And then we do have some students that are taking classes at their high school if it's offered at their high school, if they have that option. Our preferred admissions requirements at Kent State, we are looking for students to at least have a 3.0 cumulative GPA and at least a 21 composite score on ACT or a 1060 SAT combined math and reading score. And they must meet remediation-free standards. The state of Ohio has uniform standards for remediation. Students must meet that. For the ACT, they're looking for them to have at least an 18 English subscore, a 22 reading subscore, and at least a 22 math subscore. So they need to meet one of those standards to be able to take a college level course at the university. So if your student, your child does not have really high ACT or ACT scores, they may not be ready yet to take a college level course. And they do have more opportunities to retake the ACT and SAT and get their score up if they want to actually participate in the program. But it's a good indicator of whether or not they're college ready or not, looking at those scores. We do have some students who may take a placement assessment test even after they take the ACT or SAT to determine their remediation-free standards and where they place, if they can place into a college level course. So I've had some students who maybe they didn't test, they did well in English and reading, or writing and reading, but they did not have a high math score. So I've had some students take the math placement assessment score to see if they can score into a college level math course to take that math course at the university. Deadlines. If you are looking to apply for summer, our deadline is April 1st. For fall, May 1st is our deadline for fall 2017. And for spring of 2018, if you're looking that far ahead, that will be October 1st. Our application is online on our website. You have to go to www.kent.edu/CCP. So look for the College Credit Plus web page, because that application will be on the web page. It's not on the main web page. That application is for new incoming freshmen and transfer students and those students who are trying to get into regular admissions to the university. So College Credit Plus application is a separate application on the College Credit Plus webpage, on Kent's webpage. It's an online app. Students will complete the app. They'll choose the campus they're applying to. That'd be Trumbull in our area, via the Trumbull campus. And then they'll need to submit their official high school transcripts, ACT scores, and there is a College Credit Plus permission form they have to submit as well. So those things need to be in by the deadline for them to be considered for admissions to the program. So applying for College Credit Plus at Kent State University, students should meet with their school counselor to discuss their CCP opportunities and options. They need to submit their letter of intent to participate to their school by April 1st. They need to take the ACT or SAT. Right now, I think the December deadline might have passed for the ACT registration, but the February test, I think that deadline is still, that students can still register for the national test for the ACT for February. If you wait until April, that'll probably be too late. Students have to go online and get their scores from the ACT website if they take the April test, and sometimes they don't get them in enough time to meet the deadline for fall or summer. So probably February will be your last opportunity to take the national test. We do offer a residual ACT at our Kent campus, but you would have to make an appointment up at their testing center and drive up to the Kent campus in Kent, Ohio to take that test. And that's usually administered at least twice a month. I believe they have a residual test. And the residual ACT at Kent can only be used at Kent State. It can't be sent to any other university or college that you're applying to for admissions, once you graduate high school. So that score is only used at Kent State. And I think YSU has one as well, right? The residual, or no, never mind. Okay, I don't want to make stuff up. Okay, that's Kent State. So I already said apply for the online applications on our website. Make sure you complete the application, submit the CCP permission form, and make sure you have all transcripts an ACT score sent to us. Once you've been admitted, there will be you'll follow the instructions in the acceptance letter that you receive, the confirm admissions. It'll talk about our orientation and our placement assessment, if you need placement assessment. And you are required to come to our orientations, and that's part of the program and part of CCP. During that session, we'll go over some things that you need to know as a new student to the university, our policies, some of the courses and classes we offer. We'll talk about obtaining your textbooks. We'll talk about getting you scheduled for your classes and how we do that with high school schedules. And then we'll also notify your school, what classes you're taking as well. I have all the information that I just went over in this handout. It's on the table outside when you guys walk back out. I also have a list of courses, of classes that students could take under CCP. These are our general Kent core classes that most of our students take towards any bachelor's degree we offer at Kent State. And it also has marked if the class is transferable to state institutions in Ohio, if it's under the Ohio transfer module, or has transfer, it's under the transfer insurance guide. That means that course will transfer to any state public university in Ohio. So whether it's College Writing 1, General Psych, Intro Sociology, courses like that, it will transfer to state institutions. If you decide to go to a private school or an out-of-state school, you would have to check with that admissions office at that particular university or college to make sure they will accept Kent State credit. If you decide to go somewhere outside the state of Ohio, or if it's not a public institution. And also I have the college readiness indicators, the uniform statewide standards, so you know what those are if you're taking the ACT or SAT, what you need to meet when you get those scores back. So all those handouts are on the table outside, and if you have any questions, I'll be here.
Hi, it's me again. So at YSU, in order to apply to the CCP program, you have to have a 2.0 overall grade point average and a 17 composite on the ACT or the SAT equivalent. Now, I'm going to caution you with the SAT scores. I'm not going to mention them here, but we'll tell you that they're on our website. There was changes to the SAT and how it's scored effective with the March 2016 test. So it depends on when you took the test on what scores we need to use in order to determine if you're college ready or not. So I'm not going to go over those here, but they are on our website if you would like to view them if you think the SAT is in your future in terms of applying for the program. So a 17 composite, a 2.0 GPA. We also evaluate against the college readiness benchmarks. While the state score for reading is a 22, at YSU we use a 21 for college readiness in reading. I'm going to caution you and say this. Admission to the program is different from course placement. You can be admitted to the program and receive an acceptance letter that says, congratulations, you're in, but you'll have to complete placement testing. And depending upon what that placement testing says, you might not be able to enroll for courses. In some cases, you might not be able to enroll for any courses, depending on what your scores are. So again, we evaluate against college readiness benchmarks. Ohio is English 18, Math 22, and then we use reading score 21 to indicate readiness in reading. And then some classes that we offer do have a higher math requirement, depending upon what it is. So if you want to come to campus to take like a general biology or a general chemistry class, you need to be pre-calc ready. So that means you need to have a math score of 25. Here at New Falls High School, we offer college algebra and trig in-house with Mr. Hott. That requires a math score of 22. In order to take calculus, if you have not completed the college algebra and the trig courses with a C or better for college credit, then in order to take calculus beginning next year, you'll need to have a math ACT score of 25. So just because you're meeting those initial benchmarks, that's great, it means you're college ready, but it may not qualify you for all the classes that you want to take. So it's very important for you to be reassessing all your ACT scores, your SAT scores, and determining if it is something that you need to take again. We take the highest test score off of each test, ACT, so it doesn't have to be all on the same test date. You could take a test last April, and you can take another one here in February, and if you have a higher math score on the February test, then we'll take that. It does not matter what the test date is for us. And if you do not meet the ACT or the SAT scores needed, then you can challenge your placement by taking university placement exams. Again, we will notify you through your acceptance letter and then through your YSU email account of what testing you need to complete and how to sign up for that. We encourage all students to read our brochure with your family. We left copies out on the table when you came in, and to visit our website prior to making the decision of whether or not this program is a good fit for you. You should discuss not only the benefits, but the other important factors such as college grade goes on your high school transcript, campus students paying for parking, talked about that earlier, and then another big one for students especially who wish to take classes online or on the college campus, the calendars don't match. We start classes for fall semester August 21st this past year. Your school may not start until closer to the end of August. Some schools don't start till after Labor Day. Our final exams for spring is the first full week of May. You might be going until the end of May, depending on what your school calendar is. Holidays don't match. Vacation, like spring break, doesn't match. We have the second week off in March every year for spring break. It does not follow the Easter holiday. Those are things that you need to consider. A big one for our students that come to campus, we don't have snow days. So if you are looking to take a class at YSU and your school closes for snow, it's a good possibility that YSU is still open and having classes. So, those are things that you want to take into consideration before you make a decision on, one, if you want to participate, and two, where it is that you would like to take classes. Online classes are very popular for students because you don't have to worry about the transportation costs, but again, you have to remember, online classes are popular with all of our students, so by the time you go to register for classes, you may not get a seat in an online class that you were hoping to. If you find that YSU is going to be a good fit for you, your next steps are to make sure you have a set of ACT or SAT scores on file. The last ACT test date we take for new CCP students is in February. We will take the March SAT scores as well, but you have to have a set of scores on file in order to apply. I know that for our juniors this year, you'll be taking the ACT again in March or April as part of the statewide initiative. The schools are offering that to students this year. We can use those scores for course placement, but in order to apply, you do need to have a set of scores on file by either the February ACT test date or the March SAT test date. You need to let your school counselor know you want to participate, and then you need to complete a CCP new student application and submit official transcripts. So usually we have an application day here in the building for all students to complete the online app, and we have forms on our website that your school counselor will pass out to you that you'll have to have mom and dad sign off on and complete to send in with your application. Our application will open in February. I believe March, we'll be out in March to do the application day for any new students. If you have a returning student, a continuing student in the program for next year, so for example, you might be a junior taking college algebra and trig this year for college credit, and next year you're going to take calculus for college credit, you will not fill out a whole new application. There is a continuing student form online though that you will need to complete. And we will send that information to your YSU email account, so you should be monitoring that so you know when to meet those deadlines. In both cases, whether you're new or continuing, the application deadline for the entire year is April 5th. April 5th is our deadline for the entire year, whether you want to do summer, fall, or just spring, you need to apply by April 5th. Our application again will open in February. Once accepted, we mail our new students an acceptance letter that includes their Y number, what college they've been assigned to, as well as their YSU email account and directions on how to activate that. From there on, we will begin communicating with you solely through your YSU email account. So you will need to be monitoring it on a weekly basis, at least, to make sure you're not missing any important information or program updates, such as you need to do placement testing, or we're missing this form for you, and you need to complete and mail in the attached. So those are things that you need to be monitoring and looking out for. You will meet with your academic advisor over the summer if you're taking classes only here at the high school. We actually have days that start in May, and then dates in June and August as well. If you are looking to take online or campus classes, and when I talk about being a campus student, that includes online classes. We don't differentiate between the two. So if you're looking at doing anything related to campus, for summer, the new student orientation, registration, and advisement day is going to be May 8th. For fall, it will be July 27th or August 1st. Directions on how to sign up for those dates are included in your acceptance letter. Again, just to stress that it's really important for you to monitor your account. We like to use this program as an opportunity for the student to begin to be their own educational advocate. When you go away to college, it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that your school has everything that they need in order to reward you financial aid, allow you to register on time, housing, etc. It's going to fall back to you, the student. So this program provides you the opportunity to be able to start learning that language and talking with folks and about your application and what you need to do in order to participate. Students in the program have full access to all of our academic support services. This includes e-tutoring and our writing center. And again, if it sounds like it's a good fit, ACT scores, February is the last date that we take for new applications. March for the SAT. Make sure you fill out your letter of intent with your school counselor by April 1st and apply and have all your documentation to us by April 5th. If you're a continuing student, again, that all applies to you as well in terms of deadlines. If you have any questions, I'll be here until the last person leaves. I think I'm going to turn this back over to Mr. Kernen. Yes? And thank you.
Thank you, Sharon and Robert. A lot of information, even for me, I've been doing post-secondary options is what they used to call it, and then they switched over to what they call College Credit Plus. Been doing this for a long time, and it's still a lot of information for me to gather and remember. So we'll take it one step at a time. The reason why we have YSU and Kent here are they're close, and we'd like to see our kids attend these two universities for College Credit Plus, because if they want to take the classes at the campus, we don't want them driving all over Kingdom Come. And you know, Kent Trumbull's obviously 15, 20 minutes away, and YSU 25, 30 minutes away. As far as scheduling, I'm going to kind of repeat a few things that Sharon and Robert already said. Mr. Crowder will make out the master schedule for our high school, and if you plan on taking a college class on one of their campuses, it's got to fit. It'll be like a puzzle. If a class you want to take there is at 9:15 in the morning, but you have physics or chemistry that you want to take here and it conflicts, we're not going to change our schedule just to meet your CCP needs. With the advent of online classes and things on the computer like that, it makes it a little more convenient, but like Sharon said, some of those classes get snagged up early, you might not be able to get into them. I warn you about online classes in college, just from personal experience, and both my boys are in college and have taken online classes. I'm going to tell you, Some people might think taking an online class might be easier. It may be more convenient, but I will tell you, they will work you hard on your online classes. So don't think just because it's online that it's going to be an easy class. It's going to be difficult, I guarantee it. Things to consider, again, if this is for you or not, the social issue of you're a high school student, and you're only a high school student once in your life. And those kids that are leaving here and driving to YSU or driving to Kent Trumbull, you're missing a part of your day. And for some students, that's fine. The more they get out of here, the better. But I've had students come back in the past and say, you know, I miss a lot of my friends during the day. I miss some events here at school, like pep rallies, things like that. And I wish I wouldn't have done that. That's up to you. Each kid is different here, and each family situation is different. So we encourage you to put some thought into it, and ask Mr. Nicholson and myself questions if you need to. Warning: we've had a couple kids not graduate from high school because they failed their CCP classes. Back then it was post-secondary. So if you plan on taking a class that's going to substitute for a required class at Newton Falls, and you fail it, then not only does that go on your college transcript, but you might not graduate. And we've had that happen, unfortunately. We had a gal that had probably 30 semester hours of credits in college, and she bailed out her senior year spring semester on an English class that she was taking at Kent Trumbull. She just quit going. And those college professors are going to treat you like a college student. They're not going to call home to mommy and daddy and say, hey, Susie's not coming to class. You're on your own. This is a high-level learning for academic students who are responsible. And if that's not you, don't sign up for it, okay? And then you run the risk of having to pay the tuition back to the school. Okay, are there any questions, anything else we need to talk about? Okay, I gave you a letter of intent form. If you would like to sign this now, if you're pretty confident that your child will be applying for College Credit Plus, then you're welcome to turn this form in before you leave. Make sure you get student signature and parent signature. Those students, how many people plan on taking Mr. Hott's either trig calc class next year or advanced calc class next year? Okay, so you're going to want to sign this, okay? And you're going to want to go through the application process. That's through YSU, okay? So our trig calc is broken up into 4 credit hours of is it 4 trig or 4 algebra? One of them's 4, one of them's... Yeah, our trig calc, you'll get 4 semester hours of algebra and 3 semester hours of trig calc, or trigonometry through YSU. So you'll get 7 semester hours through YSU next year if you qualify, okay? How many people are in trig calc now planning on taking advanced calc next year? Okay, so then if you get accepted into the program you'll qualify for Calc 1 and Calc 2 through Mr. Hott and YSU, and those are 4 semester hours each. Okay, so that's 8 semester hours. Yes.
Question between YSU and Kent. Are you recognizing Mr. Hott's classes to YSU they tend to Kent State, or do you force them also to take a placement test?
No, they get college credit for YSU. Those math courses are under the Ohio transfer module, so they will transfer into Kent State. So the student would have to take a math placement because they already have math credit from YSU, but we need a copy of that YSU transcript so we can get the credit for the course. Because sometimes we'll have students who apply to Kent State and they forget to let us know that they went to they at the conference in high school, the YSU, we have to say, well, if you want to get credit for that course, you got to get some transcript. Once we get the transcript in, then we can give them credit for the course. Usually they know ahead of time, they need to get that transcript from them. Sometimes they just forget, or they don't realize, but they'll say that it's on their high school transcript, but we need the official YSU transcript.
And the same goes vice versa. I've had students who have enrolled at Kent and through placement testing qualified to take their Writing 1 course and successfully completed it, and then applied to me, but it still showed English sub-score of 17 and not 18. So I'm telling them they need to do placement testing because they're not college ready. But had I known that they had completed the class at Kent and transferred that in, then that would have satisfied that placement.
Okay.
So it works both ways.
So it hasn't really changed, as long as you completed the class, all the placement then falls to the wayside. And then for engineering wise, you're coming in, basically you should be eligible to take doctorates too. If you complete over the 2 years.
We did all the math that we offer here at high school, I think they have what's through calculation.
Okay.
Okay, so you're taking the trig calc this year, but you didn't get enrolled. Is he eligible to take calc next year? If he enrolls this year, so you get credit for the advanced calc next year.
If he gets accepted into the program, he'll take what we call for our high school class, advanced calc, YSU's calc 1 and 2.
Okay, and so it's already completed the prerequisite regardless of whether he's in the program or not. Is that right?
He's completed our prerequisite to take our advanced calc.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so now if you enroll him, then he'll go ahead and get college credit for the second class. The
Calc 1, calc 2, yeah.
So he
Yeah.
would need to have that math ACT score of 25 in order to take calc, or coming through placement testing has shown that he has the
Yeah.
equivalent, yes.
Okay. All right, so YSU, I think Sharon mentioned this, for the new students signing up for College Credit Plus, we're going to have our application day on March 6th. That means YSU rep will come out and we will call all the students down who are not currently enrolled in CCP and want to attend YSU, and we will sit down in the computer lab and do the application online that day. That's March 6th. Okay? Kent is online. Yep, just go on there and do it. Is there any tricks of the trade when they get on there? Is there any, if they want to select Kent Trumbull?
Yeah, you must be on the College Credit Plus web page, because if you're on our regular website, our main web pages, you're going to see apply now, and that application is for the freshman. I mean, if you do click it, it will say, it will give you a tab for College Credit Plus and direct you to the College Credit Plus website to see it. No, I don't doing a regular application, so just make sure you go to the College Credit Plus web page and do the online College Credit Plus application, because it's a separate application.
We've had kids take YSU classes through us here with Mr. Hott and take Kent Trumbull classes at the same time, and New Falls classes. It's all fit, if it fits. Okay? All right, well, we'll be here afterwards if you want to come down and talk, and appreciate you coming. And if you want to sign that letter of intent so you have it out of the way and turn it into Mr. Nicholson or myself, that would be great. Thank you and have a good day.